This is Katie.
And this is Patience.
And we're Gummy Buddies. Hello.
Hello.
We are back. This is going to be the episode posting before Valentine's Day. So we're not going to see you again. So happy Valentine's Day. We hope you have lots of fun things you're doing. And if you're like me, we hope you're not lonely and crying. Patience, what are your plans for Valentine's? Do you even have any special ones?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm being taken
She has
somewhere.
somebody that's making plans for her. I'm not jealous.
I'm going somewhere. I don't know where.
I know where you're going.
I wanted to go... Okay. I actually wanted to go to the...
You actually?
The zoo was selling tickets to have champagne and dinner
Ooh.
in the aquarium.
You would have loved that.
And they make the walkway glow.
Mm.
They still have tickets for Friday night, but I won't be home on time on Friday night.
Oh, that sucks. Even if you went straight from work? I hadn't heard about that.
I don't think so.
That's neat.
So
I'm not a huge champagne person unless it's in orange juice, but
Oh, I would so just do a gummy.
I'm still too scared to do a gummy and go to the aquarium. I don't know. How was your week other than today? We both got yelled at by Patience today. Not Patience. The one with the TS. It was not great. Her kids have been dying. My kid has been dying. Everybody's throwing up and running to the bathroom. Missing the bathroom.
Maverick broke my computer. Pour water on it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. R.I.P.
Happened.
Big loss. So poor Patience has been trying to edit on her laptop for the last episode.
I don't know, other than that. It's just a long work week.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks.
We're excited to just relax and be high.
I've been doing 3-day weekend highs. It's great.
Yeah. I'm not judging.
It's great. It's great to be in La La Land.
Yeah. So we are gonna do a little bit of a thing because we haven't done this in a while. If you are new here, you can check us out on TikTok at Gummy Buddies Podcast. We have little clips of the show. I know normally people do that at the end, but we're doing it at the beginning because we get high at the end of our podcast. Hi. So yeah. I think Patience. We didn't even... Do you know how unprepared we are tonight? You have the previously on Gummy Buddies next to you that you have to do.
Where did you get this bear? I really like how soft it is.
The same exact place. So I got it at work. I don't know if you remember, but I got us our last ones. The little devil guys. I got them on Valentine's Day from my work. And it's the same company. I think those are what the Neato things are. Have you seen the trend where people are microwaving Neatos and they're bursting on their kids' faces and burning them? It's terrifying. There was a kid that had horrible burns all over his face. You know what? Give us just a second. We'll be right back. Druga, also known as Doc, was 30 years old. His family called him Doc. I don't know if everybody else did, but that's what I'm going to refer to him as so that there's no confusion between Jack and Jackie. And Ted Weir, who was 32. The group was affectionately referred to as the Boys by their families and had been friends with one another for around 8 years or so, with Gary Mathias being the last addition to the gang. The troop went to the game and sat together apart from the crowd a bit, just enjoying themselves. After the game, approximately 10 p.m. or so, they all stopped into a convenience store and grabbed candy, chocolate milk, burritos, and other snacks to treat themselves with during their ride home. And that was the last time anyone was confirmed to have seen these young men alive. The news reporter in Chico that was there covering the game did remember definitively seeing them sit there at the game. The families quickly knew something was wrong, particularly Jackie's family, who knew he was never one to stay anywhere but home. He never did like normal sleepovers with other kids. He always wanted to be home. You see, their families were very aware of the boys' needs because each of them had mental or intellectual disabilities. The only one not born with their condition was Gary Mathias, who suffered from probable schizophrenia, but was successfully taking medication for it. He had been put on a psychiatric discharge from the Army, but Gary's family and doctors say he was doing quite well with his treatment. Gary was an athlete and a musician. Even with their limitations, each had their own unique talents and capabilities. What's like a random talent you wish you had? I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make you laugh. I'm actually gonna make you laugh.
Okay.
To be able to count quick. I can't count fast.
Like do math or just count?
To do math.
Oh.
Like,
oh, okay.
Like, I can't... Even, like, basic math is really hard for me.
Interesting. It's so funny because she's, like, smart as a whip, too, especially with, like, her reaction time in general. It's super fast, so it's weird that the numbers just throw your brain off.
It's really hard.
I wish I was artistic. Like, I'm not good with drawing in any way, shape, or form.
Would you like to see my latest drawing?
Yes.
I have a mermaid.
He's beautiful.
I don't know what that has to do with this case, but the merman is here.
I'm sure we'll make a way to bring it full circle later on.
There's, like, like, people who are really, like, who are, like, autistic, who are good with, like, chess.
There is,
like,
yeah.
Dang, that's nice.
There is a condition called savant syndrome, which is, like, where you have a mental disability, but, like, you have a super, super cunning brain for a specific thing. Like, a lot of people with savant syndrome are really, really good at the piano, or they can, like, if you give them a day, like, I can say June 14th, 1822, and they'll go, it's a Tuesday. And they know instantly, for some reason, what day of the week it is. It's crazy. It's really cool.
That's nuts.
Very neat. So Doc, who may just have had a form of autism, he was shyer. He was more quiet and reserved. And Doc had served in Vietnam. And he was even driving the car that everyone had been in that night. A turquoise and white 1969 Mercury Montego. Francisco. It is worth noting that Doc was not one to let other people drive his car. Of the group, Doc was closest to Bill Sterling, and Jackie tended to be closest to Ted, leaving Gary Mathias as somewhat of an odd man out. The group themselves, actually, were on their own basketball team through a community center called the Gateway Gators. That's so cute. Gateway was a place that facilitated Special Olympics and other activities or groups for those with disabilities. The boys were all fired up and excited because they themselves had a big game in a tournament scheduled the very next day, and they hadn't lost a game yet. Sadly, a couple of the boys even had their uniforms laid out.
Oh.
Never to be worn again.
That's sad.
Yeah. The very next morning, the boys were all reported missing, only to be given the typical response of, oh, they're over 18, so they're allowed to wander off for a bit. It's probably fine, by the police. The terrified families had to wait 4 whole days before finding any new leads on the whereabouts of their loved ones. 70 miles away from home, about 4,000 feet above sea level, in the Sierra Nevada mountains, in Plumas National Forest, Doc's car was found abandoned. Way northeast of where these boys were supposed to have been. The driver's window, we're getting down into the nitty gritty here with all these facts of the situation. So, like I said, it's not Dyatlov. I told patients, I kept on thinking about Dyatlov.
Whose car was it?
Doc's. It's not exactly the same, but it's very reminiscent in that there's a lot of weird facts, and we're going to go through them all, okay?
Yeah.
So the driver's window was rolled down. Mind you, it was winter.
I need 2 seconds.
Well, if you're going to take 2 seconds, I'm going to take a sip of my Lonnie Spencer's.
Would you like to see my weird snake?
He looks like a dragon snake. He's got a dragon nose.
All right. I am ready.
All right.
All right. So, you said driver or passenger?
The driver's window was rolled down.
Okay.
At least the driver's window. I don't know if more than one was rolled down. There were conflicting records.
You know what's nuts? It's one of those cars where you have to crank it.
I know. Isn't it weird how people
Back in the olden days when we had to crank our windows down.
There's still people that get those cars to this day, and I'm like, what are you thinking? My car does not have cruise control. I'm living in the Stone Age.
Yeah, she is.
All right. So the window was rolled down. The keys were not in the vehicle. Candy wrappers were left in the car, and not one other hint was left as to the boys' whereabouts. There was no indication whatsoever of foul play. No blood, no scuffled footprints, nothing. The car was parked into a small snowdrift, and there was evidence that the tires had spun some, like they had vaguely tried to drive out of it, but it wasn't such a large drift that the boys shouldn't have been able to push the vehicle off of the snow that it was stuck on. The police had hauled the car away and inspected it for damage, and there was virtually zero damage to the undercarriage. Nothing wrong with it to prevent it from being driven off, and they even hot-wired it, and it started right away, and it had a quarter tank of gas still. Okay. Unfortunately, Mother Nature was in a full fit, and what had started as a snowstorm that night raged into hazardous blizzard conditions.
Was it snowstorm the day they found his car, or the 4 days before?
The day they went missing, it was snowing, and it was getting worse and worse and worse that night. I don't know how long it had been snowing. I knew it had been snowing heavily previously, but after that night, it was like a massive influx of snow that just perpetuated throughout the next. Because we're also in the middle of the mountains, too. So, once it starts snowing, yeah, okay. I think I even mentioned something like that. Yeah, exactly. So, the blizzard conditions. Now, we know how fast snow and temperatures can drop in these mountains. And these boys did not leave their homes. What?
You're you just said, and we know that the temperature drops really quickly.
Oh,
and I'm do we?
Yeah, we were literally in Colorado in the mountains. And
totally forgot. I forgot that it snowed that one day we were there, too.
You guys, we were sitting in a hot tub and it snowed. It's amazing. Okay, so these boys did not leave their homes with hiking gear or anything to indicate that they had planned on being out in the winter weather. Now, mind you, because it's a mountainous region, you're talking about totally different weather from where they left at home. It's 70 miles northeast, so it's not... I was trying to look up and find the exact temperature, by Chico versus in the mountains. Could not find that. However, it was mentioned that they were not dressed for the winter. Okay. The boys were... Yeah.
Can I have a little bit of lotion?
Want to buy us some now?
I'm actually almost... My whole bottle is gone at work. I want the caramel one.
I think the pistachio one smells good, but it just makes me want pistachio ice cream. EOS, Spencer. Even though your lotion bottle looks really gross right now, because I think there's little children that keep on putting lotion on theirs. The boys were familiar with the route to the college and back home, and it even had to have driven past a huge bridge that would indicate to them that they were definitely not headed in the right direction to be going home. So, like, say we're driving to Omaha, there's a giant landmark, a giant bridge, like, off to the northeast. You can't miss it. You know you're not in the right direction, and they were there. They had to drive across that bridge to get to where they went. So there is no mistaking that they were well out of their way. And they had gone more than once back and forth from the college to home. Okay. One of the boys, was great with maps, even. And they had a neatly folded up map right there in the vehicle. So this all contraindicates just getting lost and wandering off in the snow and then getting stuck. Although search efforts were made, the storms became so horrific so quickly that the roads became impassable, and all efforts to find the boys were impeded severely. It wasn't until months later, on June 4th, after all the snow had melted, that a man biking in the area came across a small Forest Service trailer. The trailer had a window broken out of it, and upon getting closer, you could smell decay. The man opened the door to this little trailer to find the body of poor Ted Weir inside. Ted was a janitor at a junior high school who had a deep love for macaroni and cheese.
Dude, same!
His body was tucked neatly inside layers and layers of National Forest Service blankets, with his arms crossed over his chest. Ted had lost a few toes from frostbite, had the startings of a gangrenous infection, and had alarmingly, this is what baffles me, Ted had lost approximately 100 pounds. He was half of the weight he had been the night he set out to watch the basketball game. He was about a little over 200 pounds or something like that. Was half that. Utterly emaciated comparatively. Between the weight loss, she's doing math, you guys.
It's not funny.
Yeah, because
some of us have learning disabilities.
Do you need your other?
March, April, May, June. 4 months. 4 months they were missing. Or 4 months that okay. I read it somewhere. 4 months. Okay.
Between the weight loss and the beard growth on Ted's face, it is estimated that Ted survived in the camper between 8 to 12 weeks while simultaneously starving and freezing to death. I cannot begin to tell you how sad that makes me. Like, the thought of being trapped or feeling like you're trapped and just being in that much pain constantly for that long, just like barely surviving. Like, I can't handle it when the thermostat gets below 68 at work. Okay? Living in hypothermic conditions for 8 to 12 weeks is it sounds so painful and torturous, and I just cannot. There's like a testimony of the family talking about how like it's really sad. So he had a nephew that adored him. And the nephew said that his mom drove up to the site where the car was found and was like, well, you went missing around here. And they had driven up right there in March. And the nephew says that it haunts him to this day that like they were right there. And that at that time his uncle was alive and in that camper.
How far was this camper from where the car was?
I will tell you. About 20 miles from the abandoned car. All right. The camper itself had some cans of food and military rations in it that had been opened up and eaten. And it had been opened using a special Army-grade can opener called a P38. I had never seen it or heard of it. It's this interesting, very simple, very small stainless steel, like, it just looks like a flat piece of metal with like a weird hook on it. It's very, like...
I think I know what they look like.
Okay. I hadn't heard of it. I wouldn't know how to use one. I mean, I might, like, primitively figure it out eventually, but it's important to recall that only Gary Mathias and Doc Madruga had any military experience to even know how to use this can opener and open up those rations. Okay. In the camper, there were matches and books inside that could have been used to start a fire and gain some warmth that were never lit. But there was no evidence at all that any of them had been used. In a storage area by the camper, they also found a completely unopened locker of even more food, and there was even a propane heater with propane in it that could have been used to keep warm. It was like just a matter of like them needing to open up a valve and turn it on. The only evidence of another person being in that camper was a pair of black canvas shoes that belonged to Gary Mathias, and the fact that Ted had been clearly tucked in with great care by another person. Ted's own boots were missing from his feet. It's like nothing adds up. Search parties were formed. What would you do if you were in a search party? I feel like I would not give up. Like, I would not eat. I would not sleep. Like, if it was anybody, like, not that I wouldn't do a search party for somebody local. I would. Absolutely. Like, if I knew there was a kid in town that went missing, I would 100% be out there. But, like, I don't know how parents, like, I don't know how they have any sanity left after a child goes missing. I have so much sympathy for that because, like, I would be... Oh, like, we watched this TV show called Found, and in it there's a woman that her son went missing from a bus stop, and every single day she goes back to the bus stop and sits and waits for him and looks for signs of him, and that would be me. I would lose it.
Same.
Yeah. So anyhow, search parties went out. About 7 miles south of the camper, lying across the road from one another, were the decayed remains of best friends Doc Madruga and Bill Sterling.
Okay, I need a second. 7 miles from the trailer.
Yes, so like there was the car, and then down the road about 7 miles away from the car, or 10 miles away from... It was approximately, I want to say it was like 11-ish miles to...
They were like across the road from each other?
And then, yeah, like... Imagine your car getting stuck parked somewhere, and then you drive up the road 11 miles, and then that's where the bodies were. And then 7 miles north of that, the camper was.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. I don't, like, that's vague geography, but you get the drift of like, the distance. So these people had to have walked, like, 11-ish, 12-ish miles away from the car to get to where they were, and then another 7-ish miles to get to this camper. In blizzard conditions.
Is it like up a hill?
It is I do believe,
or like up a mountain.
So there's actually discrepancies, which I will not mention now that I think about it. I don't think I put it in my notes. I did my research though, people. So there's somebody in the family that hunts and tracks, like, he's got eyes for it, and he thinks that certain footprints were headed uphill for sure. And then other people think there's footprints headed downhill. So, or the police were like, oh no, these footprints are headed downhill. And this guy's like, no, I'm a hunter. I know what I'm saying. So there was a discrepancy even there. The police absolutely failed these families in this investigation. California police are not known for their like cutthroat investigation, but there are factors that contributed as to why it failed, and we'll touch on that later. But 100%, it wasn't taken seriously at the get-go, and there wasn't enough done. Like, there wasn't enough of a manhunt. There were even rumors that the Forest Service had told the police that these campers existed, and no one went to go and search them.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It was bad. And the families are all very, like, Like, they appreciate what the police did, but they also feel very resentful. Like, more could have been done. Like, they were so close. How did we miss so much? So, Doc Madruga and Bill Sterling were found across from each other. There was little but bones left, and a small amount of flesh for each of the men, as animals had scavenged the site. But inside Doc's pocket were the keys to the car. Although there's not too much to base this on, the men's death was ruled officially as being due to exposure or hypothermia. But the problem with that kind of a diagnosis is there's just bones left, so you can't find any soft flesh wounds. You can't really test so much for toxicity. You can't, if there was a bullet wound and an animal took a little piece of bone away from the bullet wound, you might not know. So it was their ruling. However, it really couldn't have been ruled as that based on just what was left of the bodies. But rule it as a death due to exposure, they did. And a couple of days later, in the search party, Oh, this is so sad.
Can I turn my page?
Yes, you turn your page. I'm going to take a sip of Alani to fortify myself.
I don't know why, but I'm writing like this and I like it.
I'm getting a hit of the boom boom. Gross. You used to do them all the time.
I said drugs.
Oh. They're homeopathic, by the way. I just said gross. Hypocrite.
Saddest part.
It's not the saddest part. This is all really sad, but
I have no emotion.
this is great.
When was the last time I had emotion when we talked about something and I was like, I can't handle it. Last time I remember you crying, it was the sea slugs.
Patience herself has some conditions, so sometimes her emotions are different. I won't dox her or go into detail.
I feel like the weirdest part is when I'm high, I feel like I don't have any emotion.
That's not true, because sometimes we're really, really happy and, that's not true.
Okay, empathetic, the empathy, the sadness part,
You don't have much empathy, no, but
when
you
I'm,
have,
sober,
she's
though.
a love bug sometimes, though. Sometimes you get in these moods where you're like, you're my best friend. I love you so much. You're so sweet to me. And, I love it when she gets in her love bug mode. Okay.
Well, I know that,
not tonight, people.
I feel like
she's sleeping on the couch.
Definitely when I get high, the stories that we talk about, I feel like if I was sober listening, hearing it for the first time, I definitely would cry. Because things like that genuinely make me sad when I'm sober, because
She is not heartless, believe it or not.
I cry a lot at a lot of things. I cried at the Olympics are going on. I've never watched the Olympics, and this was the first time I've ever watched it, and the opening speech after the athletics parade, I was crying at my desk because of how touching it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're tearing up a memory.
Now I'm like, so this should genuinely make me sad. Anytime there's a death on the news, normally I cry about those.
Her emotions are not predictable. Unless it's a recurring thing she sees that triggers her.
They just brought up the case where it happened last year where that plane, or the two helicopters hit each other.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember when that happened, I was sitting there watching it at work and I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. Or when all the figure skaters died on that plane. I remember I cried so hard that I literally couldn't be at the desk because I couldn't calm down. It was so sad because it was a bunch of kids. Mm-hmm. And it makes me it's so weird that when I'm high, I'm not even more emotionally open to the sadness. I like it because it kind of just puts that barrier there that I'm just we're here to tell a story.
Well, you know what? Think about Xanax and the effects that those have on you.
Does it look like I take Xanax?
Right now, yeah. It looks like you could be on a Xanax. That's what my point is. I think they're downers or whatever. I don't know why I like Fang. They're vampire drugs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it used for people who are overly emotional, who can't keep their
it's used for anxiety or anxiety attacks, panic attacks.
Interesting.
Yeah. It makes them mellow out.
Oh, I love drugs. I got a plug now for our drugs.
Drugs, sponsor us. All the illegal street people need to sponsor us. No. The FDA has way too many rules and regulations. You got to get like all the coke dealers and the.
I was just about to say, what if like there was one cartel member that watched?
And he was like, "Yeah, I love our podcast. We got drug money to support our podcast."
Would you take it?
No,
I
would not take it. Okay, I gotta go because I just hit like a level 1.5. All right. Doc and Bill were found across the road from each other, right?
Okay.
A couple of days later, we're bringing it back down. In the search party, Mr. Hewitt found the remains of his own son.
What's Hewitt's son name? Jackie? Jackie, okay.
He found his own son, Jackie, about a mile north of the trailer. He immediately knew it was his son because he recognized him by his outfit. All that was left of Jackie was simply bones. His wallet was still in his pocket. When they went to go remove him and pick up his like coat or shirt, his backbone just completely fell out. It was that very little was left of him.
Oh, that's sad.
Jackie was 24, but he had the mindset more, according to his family, of like a younger teenager, maybe 16. But he wrote his name well, and he even had a girlfriend that he talked to on the phone all the time.
Oh.
Yeah. And the last conversation that Jackie had with his dad, his father hollered at him as he was leaving for the basketball game. His father was like, "No booze, no drinking, and no girls." And Jackie yelled back, "Aw, come on, Dad." And that was the last thing he said to his dad. Jackie's brother is the one who relayed all this in an interview in a show I watched. And it was so sad because he said that his family was a good family. Like, he knew his dad loved him. But they weren't the kind to be like, I love you, I love you. They didn't really talk about it, but you knew. Like, you know I love you, you know you love me, but we're not lovey-dovey. We don't say that all the time.
Not big, like, verbalizers on it. Okay.
He says the very first time he ever remembered his dad saying, I love you, was the day he called him up when he found his brother's body. And he said, I love you that day.
Whoa.
It was so sad.
That is sad.
Now, Gary Mathias, the veteran and musician, he was never to be seen or heard from again. Well, not officially. There are some scattered stories of possible sightings of Gary Mathias, even one by a surviving family member, but none of them was ever confirmed. There was one woman who said, like, she saw him in a bar, and that when she tried to confront him, he got up and ran out of the bar, and they tried chasing him, and they couldn't find him and catch him. And she says that there's other stores and places in the area where people said they saw him, but he was never, like, caught. It was never for sure confirmed. So this is a grain of salt. Okay.
Are you going to show me what they look like?
I will. I have a picture of them. I'm going to show you at the end. The convenience store clerk, she believes that the two of the boys had been outside in the phone booth for a while others were shopping, but that didn't bring up any official leads either. Unfortunately, we are left with very limited information and more questions than answers. The families are also generally angry because newspapers hyper-focused on the boys' disabilities. Even some...
I hate that. I hate the media. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so stupid. They, like, are so, like... that's why I don't watch the news, because I feel like all they ever want to do is hyper-focus on, like, the bad things or, like, issues.
Yeah.
Not, like...
They have to dramatize it all instead of just laying out facts.
Off. It's so dumb.
They're focused on the viewers rather than just getting proper story, information. Yeah. It's the clickbait. And apparently it started, 50 years ago, and it's sad. They use the R word in the title, a group of R boys. Yeah. Which, obviously, it's the 70s, so it's going to be, unfortunately, more popular back then, but just blatantly throwing it out there in a title, like, there were families reading these articles, and, like, they were also frustrated with the way it was portrayed.
Were all the families, like, friends with each other since their sons, like, hung out?
They all, like, knew each other. Different family members knew different family members. So, like, the nephew that I have been talking about that was really sad that his mom took him and drove him up there, he had said that, like, the best friend of his uncle, the one, I think it was Bill, he's the one who was, like, teaching him how to bowl. And so he had memories, like, of him.
Oh, okay.
So,
got it.
Yeah. Hearing all of these family members just, like, tear up and say all their favorite memories and stuff of their loved ones, it just makes you hurt that all of these people, like, I'm glad they found their bodies for the most part, but there's no, like, it's still, like, tiniest sliver of closure because you still don't know what happened. So the families, they felt like the newspapers using this terminology left an air of assumption around the searches in the minds of police, like, the boys didn't have any common sense, and it was kind of like a survival of the fittest situation. Like, well, they were special, so they probably just wandered off and got themselves killed. Like, it wasn't taken as seriously as it should have been because these boys were, you know, the outcasts. They were different. And instead of seeing that as a, holy crap, we're going to get extra eyes on this and help these kids because there's a chance they might need a little extra help, it's, oh, well, they probably went and got themselves in this situation. But the families insist that the boys knew better than that. They were smarter than that. They didn't have zero survival instincts. Like, they knew. 2 of them were in the military. Like, it doesn't make sense just to blame it all on them being mentally disabled. The boys, I say kids. They're not kids. They're men. They wouldn't just wander. It's because they say the boys so much. And so when I think of the boys, I think of my boys because my sons, I call them the boys all the time. And your sons, I call them the boys. So anyhow, I'm getting a little gravelly. They wouldn't just wander off on some random adventure like this, only to get stuck and not know what to do. Not only would they not wander off, but they didn't have no survival instincts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to assume that they just made stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision. And that's what the police theorized. They said the boys simply made a wrong turn somewhere on the drive home and then just had one bad decision after another. But it doesn't make sense, especially when you think about, like, that bridge. They would have known they weren't in the right place with that bridge. Why did the boys drive 70 miles so clearly out of their way from home, especially when they were looking forward to their special game the next day? Why would they want to go out and wander out all hours of the night when they got that game to get to the next day? They wouldn't have decided, oh, we're going to try and rough it and see how long we can survive in the wilderness when they were so excited about their game. Why was there food left in the camper? And why was the heat never turned on? I understand that you might not know how to turn on the heat, but they knew how to light a match. They knew how to burn a book. Why was none of that used for fuel? There is one very sweet and sad theory that the boys had a fear and that they basically kind of trapped themselves because they were scared to take things to eat because they had a very great respect for the law and they had a big fear of getting in trouble for stealing, and so they didn't want to touch the stuff and they actually starved themselves just because they didn't want to get in trouble that they had stolen some of the food. That breaks my freaking heart.
Obviously it's just a theory.
It's just a theory. An inappropriate part of me is like, a game theory. Stop. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? It's a gamer. Okay. More questions. What happened to Gary Mathias? Did he have anything to do with these tragic deaths, or was he just a victim that some like to use as a scapegoat in an attempt to unravel this mystery? Like, is there a chance he had something to do with it, or was he just a victim? You can't sit there and go victim blaming. We don't know, but the fact that he's not there and that he apparently possibly took the boots and left his own shoes. One family member inferred that the 4 boys did have a fear of Gary Mathias at times. The one who said she saw Gary in the bar said that the boys had more than once said that he kind of scared them and intimidated them. But she even hesitated to lay blame on him completely because it's possible he was just a victim of a horrific death. So, like, she had her doubts and theories, but, like, she didn't even want to say for sure that that's what happened. The fact that 3 of their bodies were so decayed left insane limitations on the investigations of possible homicide. So the question is, who knows something and just hasn't spoken up 50 years later? Perhaps just like with Dyatlov, we won't ever have guaranteed answers, but we might still solve this mystery yet. After all, stranger miracles have happened, and the Yuba County Five were loved by many that still seek answers to this day. The end.
What was the name of them, like, as a group? Like, this is the case of, like, Dyatlov Pass.
The Yuba County Five.
Yuba.
Oh.
Five.
I just cracked my knuckles so loud. And that is my case.
I like stories like that.
It's just puzzle piece after puzzle piece after puzzle piece, and they only match up just a little bit. And there's so many missing pieces.
Okay, are you ready for some of my questions?
I'm ready. Oh, I didn't show you the picture of them.
Okay.
Go ahead with your questions.
Okay. Hold on.
Here is a picture, for those of you just on audio, I'm going to show a picture of the Yuba County Five. And that is what they're generally referred to as on the media, Yuba County Five. So if you want to do any research, that is what you would look up. This is them. And Gary's brother, by the way, looks so much like Gary. And that's another thing I didn't mention, is his brother was like, no, my brother was doing fine. Like, there were times where people would bully him and pick on him, and his brother would sit there and defend him. Like, he was a good brother. So it's just completely out of character. Gary did not have a history of attacking people, and, like, he didn't have that. It was out of character for him. So people blaming him, it's very out of left field.
Okay. Gary was the closest with who?
Gary was the one that was, like, more on the outs.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me who was like, close with who?
Ted and Jackie.
Ted and Jackie. Okay. And Doc and Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See.
All right. I need just a second to process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There is it's a short but good episode on the Files of the Unexplained. On this, it's episode 3.
Ooh.
So if you're looking for something to watch, that's on Netflix currently. Lots of media covers this case for obvious reasons. Like, it's sensational because of the intellectual disability. It's kind of gone down in time because there's other cases where there's groups of people that have gone missing, so this one kind of stands out a little more. What was your next question? Next question, please.
Not question. My question that I came up with.
Okay.
I wonder, does psych meds, do they alter as you go up in altitude?
Ooh, previously on Gummy Buddies. Well,
makes me wonder because, like,
oxygen is processed differently, right? Or is it processed differently, or is there just less oxygen?
There's less oxygen.
Altitude affects your blood flow in a way,
because,
I think,
like,
doesn't it?
If you hit a certain altitude point, even your mind can go, like, loopy.
4,000 feet isn't that crazy high up, though, compared to other mountains. So I don't know if it would be enough to really affect things in that manner. However, I'm curious.
It's a good thought.
Yeah. Oh, and then when they examined the vehicle for damage, another indicator that was just interesting, I forgot to mention this, it's that the fact that there was no damage to the undercarriage, it meant that the driver had to have been very, like, calm and careful going on the mountain road. So, like, he wasn't panic driving. Was there
already,
and then
like,
got the car
snow
stuck.
on the mountain that night?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I thought I wrote this down, but I guess maybe I deleted it on accident. Or I might have skipped it. So, there was a snowcat that had gone through the day before.
They went missing?
The day before the boys went missing, a snowcat had gone through the area to try and clear some of the snow off of, like, by where those trailers were. They had gone to clear snow off of the roof so that they wouldn't collapse into themselves and get crushed. So they had a path. So the theory is that there were some tracks in the snow, that the boys got stuck, left their vehicle. A couple of them passed of the two passed of hypothermia on the way to the camper, and then the other 3 hunkered down and tried to survive in the camper. However, at one point, Jackie left to go like off on his own, or he like stayed with Gary. And then when Ted passed, because Jackie was with Ted, you know, they were besties, so he was probably the person that like tucked him in all respectful and sweet and cozy. Not that Gary wouldn't have, but like Ted probably passed, then Jackie left with Gary, and then Jackie probably died of hypothermia somewhere out there, and Gary either somehow made it somewhere on his own, or his remains were just never found in the area. There is a good chance Gary's body is right in that area somewhere. Oh my gosh, my back.
Okay. I have 2 theories.
Okay.
Let me hit you with...
Don't hit me.
Okay. This is how This is how I think something could have happened.
Okay.
Okay, something about them going there, that's the one part, like, I can't figure out why they would have gone there. The only thing I could think of is that they were, like, wanting to go to the top of the mountain for some strange reason, to, like, see, or something like that. Anyways, I think,
But with the snow, like, and the storm and it being in the middle of the night, it was pitch dark.
So whatever happened there, okay, so that part, can't come up with something. But, whatever happened, I bet they went to the trailer, and I think that Gary left first. And I feel like it has to do with something with the footprints and the difference of the boots.
So you think Gary stayed with them, but then after a while he ventured out on his own.
He was going to leave everybody there. Because he was like the most survival. I think he left and he was going to just walk in a direction. Because maybe they like got lost. I know, the whole lost thing, if someone was really... But they didn't take the map. Anyways, I think he left to go try to find help.
I think it was just a road map. I don't know that there was like a topographical...
I think that he went to go find help. And he was like, you guys stay here. Then I think something happened to Gary. And whether it be an animal, I'm pretty sure there's bears there, like brown bears, that could live up there. There's,
who knows?
Mountain cats, da-da-da. I think the reason we can't find him, I know there's reported sightings, but, like, one theory could be that, like, he did get eaten by an animal. Like, that I would not be surprised by.
Well, and as a family member, I feel like I would see him everywhere because I'd want an answer. Right. Like, I'm not saying they're crazy or they were wrong, but, like, that's a possibility, too, is that you're just so hopeful for an answer that you're seeing somebody that just you're not seeing.
And I think that Gary, like, was probably maybe the most, like, fit, like, in, like, tracking through things or something. Like, I think he had the best chance, and he'd be like, oh, like, 11 miles, that's not that far. Like, I feel like in the military, that's not far for military people. So he was like, oh, I'll go, and I'll find somebody, and we'll come back, and we'll get you, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I think something happened to Gary. So then I think Doc and Bill said
Jackie. Oh, no, Doc and Bill.
Because they were found together across the road.
So you think they all made it to the camper together?
Yes.
Really?
So then, after Gary didn't come back for some time, I think Doc and Bill went. And they were going to follow the
So, like,
the
almost I Outlaw all over again, trying to go on separate rescue missions.
And then...
But that doesn't explain why there weren't that many rations, I don't think, that were eaten up. So I don't think they could have survived. I think Doc and Bill had to have died on the way.
So, like, I think they went on their way to find Gary. Mm-hmm. And then, like, let's say it would have been, like, a day later. I think the blizzard or whatever got so bad and they obviously weren't dressed enough. So they only made it that far.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. Like, it's possible they all made it to the camper and they just didn't stay there that long.
Mm-hmm. So then I think those two went. Now, them being across from the road from each other, obviously, I think that's animals. I think that at some point they were probably together, but then they, like, were getting pulled, like, with some sort of animal. I think that could be a good possibility. And then... I don't remember if you said this, if, like, Ted was, like, the most...
Ted and Jackie were a little bit, like... I don't have like their IQ charts or anything like that by any means, but from
like,
the sound of it, they were a little bit on the lower ability scale with the survival.
So I think that's why Doc and Bill told them to stay at the trailer. Well, then I think that Jackie was like, it's been so long, like I gotta go find him. So I think by that time Ted was probably frozen so much, and then with his, you know, his feet or whatever they said, I think that Jackie was like, you stay here, and he tucked him in, and like probably Ted was probably like freaking out, or like he was just like, we're gonna die, or like whatever. And I think he was like trying to comfort him, and that's why he tucked him in, and then Jackie left.
I think Ted died before Jackie left because he had because he was posed like this.
Oh.
But that doesn't discount your theory.
But then I think because of all the snowfall, Jackie didn't know which way the other people went, and that's why he was in the other direction. And where he was actually going up, it would have been north, so I think that's up the mountain.
Yeah, it was north.
It's kind of like my theory.
That's an interesting... I never really thought about them all making it to the camper and only...
Because, like, what if Gary actually had knowledge of
I figured that
trailers?
2 of them passed on the way to find... Because the conditions were so horrible, part of the reason that the police supposedly ignored the searching of these fire trailers is because it was... When you think about it, 20 miles in blizzard conditions, we're talking... The tracks that were left were driven through drifts that were 5 to 6 feet high in snow. So it almost is like an avalanche condition. So walking the 20 miles was it's a miracle they survived that, period. So it's theorized that they died on the way to the camper because of the weather conditions. However...
That would explain Ted's toes.
Yeah, that would explain, because on the way there, they all barely made it, and Ted's toes had frostbite. And everyone else probably had frostbite, too. If Gary is out there somewhere, he's probably got frostbite.
I want to fact check this. There is a condition where when you develop hypothermia...
You fatigue and fall asleep. Oh, okay, sorry.
You go kind of like... I want to say like loopy, like, because then at some point it'll be like...
take off your clothes and feel hot, yes.
And I feel like, what if that's why Ted's shoes were off? He was like, I can't, like, my feet are burning up, like, when they're actually just possible.
Cold. I still think he traded them out for the boots, because the boots were gone. Boots were missing.
I like it. It was a good story.
Yeah.
I do believe I know animals, like, probably... ate the flesh off of Doc and Bill.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I was trying to think of a way that, like, the reason I brought up the psycho meds when you get to a higher altitude, because Gary was the one that was on them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Others might have been on medicine too, but Gary was, like, stable on his,
And I was like, oh, what if that, like, could have, like, altered his mindset and, like, maybe, like...
You know what, though? You know why I'm going to discount that theory? Mm-hmm. Think about it. I think that them passing away, it had to have done with... Sorry, my words are getting a little rough here because I hit like a 3. Basically, why were they there to begin with? I don't want to say the crazy, but like if he had gone off kilter, if he had gone off his meds and gone on I don't know the proper term for it, but like a manic episode of some kind, if he had gone on one of them, the altitude wouldn't have been what triggered it, because they drove all the way for no good reason, 70 miles. So whatever went wrong started way back, at least on the highway, on the way home.
So
And there was one other theory I didn't tell you. There's a friend that lives in a town called Oroville, I guess, that someone knew, and they were wondering if maybe they thought they were going to drive to go visit this other friend that was slightly out of the way, and then they took a wrong turn. But that still doesn't explain why they wouldn't have known not to go down the bridge.
Have they ever been to this forest before? Or monument?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Like,
wait, hang on. I hope I'm not making this up, but I want to say Jackie, maybe? Someone had taken him there, like, on a fishing trip, like, one time. But it was like the family said that basically like they had gone there once briefly, but there's no good reason why in the middle of the night the kids would have decided, like he wouldn't have been like, oh, let me go show you this spot my dad took me to. Like it wasn't a situation where they thought he would remember where it was.
So they lived in Chico.
No, they drove to Chico for the game. I don't know how far they were. I think it was a bit of a drive.
Where did they all live?
Yuba County. One of them lived like in Yuba City and then another neighboring area. Then
from Chico, they went to a monument. That's 70 miles from UB.
That's 70. Yeah, they said it was about 70 miles from home. I don't think Chico State is that far from home. So just give or take like over an hour of driving, and in conditions like that, probably like 2-3 hours at least. And I don't know for a fact, I can't remember if they bought gas while they were at the gas station, because then they would have had a full tank and that would have... I don't think they did. I think they just went in and got their snacks. But the clerk remembered them distinctly because she was annoyed because she was trying to close for the night and then a group of a bunch of people walked in.
How, they didn't have cameras then?
No, not surveillance cameras like they do now. Very rare places.
And she couldn't confirm if two of them were talking in a phone booth.
She was very sure that a couple of them were outside in the phone booth talking, and then...
You don't think she would actually remember who was out there? Like, if they said, okay, which two boys did you see go to the telephone booth? I feel like she would have remembered.
Well, she remembered, like... It could be that she just didn't remember those faces. She could have looked at a lineup and been like, they bought this, they bought this, they bought this. I don't know who these guys are. So she didn't have to remember those guys' faces to exclude them and say, oh, there were a couple guys. And do you see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm like trying to figure out like what it should have been. Could she?
I'm sorry.
Stop?
Can we speak English?
No. I'm curious
Not around
to see
here.
why she couldn't pinpoint the three that were in the store. And
tentacles of doom.
Is that something she couldn't do? She couldn't.
She did. She recognized them, and that's why she was able to.
So which three did she say were in the store?
It's written down somewhere in my notes, but I don't. I think it was Jackie was outside, and I don't remember. I think it was Jackie and Bill or something.
I was trying to think of like some way because of like who they like favorited the most. Like if they, what I'm trying to say is I wonder if they actually stuck in pairs. Like Doc and Bill would always be like closest with chatting with each other, where like, you know, Ted and Jackie are always really close talking to each other. Like,
yeah. Like that's what
like
I
if
thought too.
I like when we're in a group together, if you go somewhere, I go somewhere with you. Like when we're all out and about. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause dude, no, I just thought it was something stupidly high. Kate.
What? I'm trying to pull up who was in the telephone booth. Bear with me. Sorry, I'm a little quiet.
So, I was just thinking, because they had their favorite person, it's like they wanted to go with them because it had like that sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
So like, why? Like, when Doc and Bill died? Like, I bet they did die together because that was like they could trust them. Like, if that was their like person, that makes me really sad to think about.
I mean, I'm glad they weren't alone, but yes, it really sucks and it hurts. Hewitt and Sterling.
That's Bill and Jackie.
Yes. I did remember that, right? Look at me go.
Interesting.
It's just so many factors. It just kills me.
Yeah, and then like the matches in the book, like that doesn't make sense.
It's so hard. Yeah, because even if you don't know how to open up the cans, why would you not start a fire? But your theory, I don't know why I wasn't really thinking about it this way. Your theory that Gary left them thinking he was doing good, trying to rescue them, and then Jackie, poor Jackie, doing his best, but like unless Gary showed him how to open up the cans, and like would Jackie have known to? Apparently not. Like, you would have known to go and try and turn on the heater and like.
Can you show me what the P-38 looks like?
Oh,
I'm almost positive I know what it is.
It looks like, I don't know if Patience wants to show you guys a picture. It looks like this. Very simple. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, like, stupidly
it just looks
enough.
like a flat, almost like a door hinge with like a small, like flat piece of metal attached to it.
Stupid enough. My dad has one.
Oh.
Like, that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what they look like. I would think that, like, I think Gary was so confident that he could go find somebody, like, and be quick enough that, or at least maybe Gary was trying to make it to another trailer. There had to have been some sort of map in there that showed a trailer.
See, and you say confident because of his military background. I don't know that I would necessarily say, oh, he probably was confident, but he definitely probably felt that responsibility.
I bet he was more, because he was the oldest.
Hey, it's my job. I'm the most with it. I'm the most experienced. I'm going to go. Yeah, I mean, he could have had some overconfidence, but also I'm sure he probably got back. There were, I think they said approximately 36 food rations were taken. So it sounds like he was hunkered down with them for at least a few days, eating the food and staying with them. And then he probably was like, look,
because, like, okay, like, what if they were, like, trying to wait out the storm?
But then again, if he was there for a few days, why didn't Gary find the heat? Like, maybe Gary did leave right away, because think about it. He opened up the rations, but he didn't turn on the propane.
What if they were trying to look for a radio? What if Gary,
write it down.
There had to have been some sort of map in there that showed how to get to another trailer.
Oh, like just a ranger station map in general?
Yeah, what if he had a map and he went out looking for it?
Excellent point. Did anyone look at the inventory of the trailer and see if there were any maps that would encourage him to go try to find?
Because, like, what if they were trying to find a radio and he was like maybe there was, like, an actual, like, base station that had a radio? And, like, what if he was trying to get there, but then, you know, like, he got 8 or whatever, he would have the map, so if there was a map.
Yeah. That's definitely an really interesting theory. Yeah,
and
I mean, because there was all this other survival gear.
And then, like, what if Doc and Bill, like, Gary was like, okay, I'm going to go to this station that's south. If I'm not back by this time, you guys need to come, and then they'll stay here. And he'd be like, okay, you just got to go this direction. And that's why Doc and Bill knew which way to go to follow Gary. But then let's say, you know, they died and Jackie's just there on his own. And, you know, then Ted dies to, like, his injuries, like, maybe from them tracking there. And then what if Jackie just kind of, you know, he's freezing to death already. Like, what if he kind of lost it and maybe south was north to him? And because he had already, like, you know, I doubt they were sleeping. So what if he's like, okay, it's my turn to go.
Sleeping is one of the first signs that hypothermia is getting to a dangerous level.
Oh.
Is when you start to get super sleepy. Yeah, there's, like, the hot phase where that can happen. But that was a big theory, was just complete exhaustion overtook these boys and they just went to sleep.
Because, like, then what if Ted died?
That would happen to me.
And then Jackie was like, okay, Gary told me I gotta go north. Like, maybe that he was just like, oh yeah, it was north, not south. And then he went to go north and, like, he was just in such a delusional state. I bet he collapsed in the snow and I bet he, you know, slept to sleep. That's my theory.
It doesn't explain why they were in the mountains to begin with.
I know. That part, the Orville thing kind of made sense. Mm-hmm. That does, like, kind of make sense that they were going to do that.
There was one other thing I read where somebody else claims to have seen these boys where the car was, like, stuck. Someone claimed that they saw the car stuck and that there were, like, flashlights and people talking and that people shut their lights off and didn't interact with. They were like, oh, can you help us? Because they got their car stuck. And they say that the lights, like, just all immediately shut down when they tried to flag down for their own help. And then there's another guy that says he got stuck and had to sleep and stay the night in his car, and that he saw them or saw the vehicle or something like that. There was another theory that I forgot to tell you. I know, there's so many. I was deep diving. Another theory that there's these, like, bad guys around town, and there's a specific one that Gary may have, like, ticked off. And there's a chance that, like, they ran across these bad guys, and someone said their theory was that Gary was murdered and, like, pushed off the bridge, and that whoever this other entity was, drove the guys and then just sent them off to their death.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if I believe that theory.
That seems so far.
A little far-fetched.
Yes.
Yeah. But so does a man just having an episode and going and driving them off into the mountains, and especially since Doc was the driver. So Gary couldn't have, unless Gary held a gun to his head, Doc was, in which there was no evidence of that found. Yeah.
Dang. I kind of like my theory. It makes me feel like Gary didn't do anything. I don't feel like Gary did do anything.
There's a big, debate about that.
I don't know. For me, personally, I don't feel... I guess I would have to know them to know. You know?
Innocent until proven guilty, I say. And that's not to say you shouldn't research the possibility of it happening, but you can't.
Plus, I feel like I can't give an opinion because, like, I feel like you have to know someone on a personal basis to know someone's intention.
Yeah.
And, like, if Gary was over, like...
And they had been friends for a long time. Like, this
8
wasn't...
years.
Yeah, it's not
remembered.
Yeah. It's not like Gary had just walked in the day before and was like, hey, who are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like... I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that I'm forgetting to tell you, or that I forgot to write down. Because it was one of those cases where I did too much research. And I was like, I could talk about this. I could talk about this. This could be talked about for weeks and weeks and weeks. And we try not to even do two-parters around here. So I apologize if I missed something important and big. But in general, that is the case of the Yuba County Five. I think I'm at like a 3 still, but I'm thinking maybe I could go for like a snack, possibly. Maybe that'll up my level, I'm hoping.
Okay.
Let's level check you.
I don't know. 4, 5?
I do feel like I'm conducting a little bit.
I'm on my sleep high.
Okay.
So I'm just very tired, but I'm definitely at a 5.
We have a really fun activity planned. If you're not one of those that likes to stay tuned for our after snack time gummy stupidity, well, guess what? Buckle up because we got a fun activity planned.
How long does it take for a body...
Which might involve buckling up in the activity. Could be one of them. How much time does it take for a body?
A body to decay. Like how...
there's
in
a
the
million
cold,
factors.
but
Humidity, heat.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like...
You'd have to look
from
at
the
the
time that
temperature
they
range.
died.
Yeah.
I think their bodies would have been well preserved enough. I guess I don't know what it's like in the temperature there, like till like early June.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how could they just be all bone if they were like buried under snow or something?
That is wild to think that the decay happened so quickly that there were just bones. But we're talking like a nature preserve, so there's going to be lots of wild animals.
Interesting. But like, I wonder if their bodies were like... This is so... Okay, bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ISS it, because it's freaking me out. Mm-hmm. Jackie's body, since he was all alone, was his body just laid out, like, as if he was just laying there? Or would there be, like, an arm way over there? Would there be, like, a missing leg?
Like, there were bones, like, kind of scattered in the area.
Okay.
Like an animal had scrounged. Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if it's, like, you know, like, when someone buries someone in a grave, like, they just lay like that. Like, was his bones
I know
just
he was
that?
under a manzanita bush.
It's a manzanita.
Well, a manzana is an apple. I don't know what a manzanita is.
Oh.
A little
interesting. I wonder why his body was under that.
My assumption is he was just trying to get cover under anything to help keep warm or keep out of the wind.
Yeah. And then it begs the question, why was, like, Don on one side and Bill on the other? I think maybe they
why
could have
the
been pulled
road?
apart.
Yeah.
But I want to know what the road looks like. Like, is there a bunch of, like, wilderness here and then there's wilderness here?
I just picture the parks we were driving through in Colorado. Like, just somebody randomly in the middle of nowhere. It just makes me so sad. But, you know.
Is it an unspoken rule in Colorado not to pick up people who look like they wandered out of the woods? Like, what if you were, like, just driving, okay, and there's
Wait, I've never heard that.
Unless
you're talking about, like, skinwalkers or something.
No, like...
or, like...
Okay, so you're driving. Someone comes out of the woods and they look like a hiker. Would you stop? How do you know if it's not a murder?
If they were flagging me down for help, I would stop and I would, like, just roll my window down a little bit. And then I would, like, make a phone call for emergency services.
But, like, in Colorado, is it a thing where, like, that's common and people get murdered that way because there's someone who's faking being a hiker? Like in need of help.
general,
I wonder if
hitchhikers
that's,
had like
thing.
a bad rap for a while there in the 70s-ish, 60s-ish. But the amount of people that got killed by hitchhikers, the numbers weren't as high as you would think.
Interesting.
My dad used to hitchhike all the time, he said. I can't remember. I gotta ask him his story.
Oh my gosh,
I try to remember
John.
it. It's like previously on Gummy Buddies. I think he like traveled really far, like from Florida to Illinois once or something. Like, I don't know if I'm crazy or if I'm remembering that right, but I swear he did.
I think if I saw someone who was flagging me down, because like, what if it's this person who's been missing for months and months and months, and you like just drove past them because you thought they were
well,
like a
and that's
killer
why I
hitchhiker?
wouldn't drive past. I would definitely like at least roll my window down and listen, and then if I saw a gun, I would drive off and be terrified.
I don't think I would stop.
Oh, your curiosity! I know you. You are so snoopy. You'd be like, "What's going on? Who's that? What's going? Why are they covered in dirt? Oh my gosh, they probably need help." I know you. You would not be able to drive past that.
I don't know. I feel like certain people would make me feel really scared of how they look. Like they look, you know.
Are you trying to talk about me? It hurts my feelings. Okay. Well, it's that time of night. We're going to do a quick snack time. And I'm excited because we specifically set our episodes have been uber long lately. So I was like, this doesn't have as much information as I like. I could make it longer, but I'm happy with where we're at with this. We're at an hour and a half-ish.
Go
I'm
team.
good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Snack time. Hello.
We're back from snack time.
Ignore my ungroomed dog.
And now for the second side of the episode. Tipper joining us for post snack time.
He's our first ever Gummy Buddy guest. What did we say we were going to call those?
Leave, Cheeky. We can't have too many stars on the show.
You know what is stupid? I notice when I laugh, I do a really loud laugh when I'm high, and I go, ha ha ha, like I'm in a book or something, and it's really obnoxious. It makes me feel like the host of the Hunger Games, when he's like, ha ha ha, and you know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen Hunger Games. Yeah. I was just thinking, you know how like on talk shows they have like the comfy chairs and they're like sitting next to each other?
Yeah.
I just like pictured me interviewing you and Tipper. Like I had
That's
like an
what you
ISS
wanted to do
moment
for
of
the Midnight Morsels thing once. You said we could do it in an interview style.
It'd be interesting. You look like a lady who...
We have talked about doing like fake news segments.
Right now, I picture you as a woman who's like lost something and you're petting your dog.
I've lost something. Like I'm sad.
Like you're rich and like you're sad and you lost something and you're just like...
Look at this.
Like your dogs are like the only best thing that you have.
My
like...
yearning. Now be gone, yearning.
He's like, what? Alright, we're gonna level check.
Burr, burr.
I still want to find a sound for that. I think that'd be fun.
But then we wouldn't have any more sound effects to make.
One less thing, girl.
No.
It's called growth.
Okay, you and I both know the only way we're going is Taco Bell ways, okay? For a second I thought we were going to pecans because we both like at the same time. It's fine. I'm all alone up here in my mansion.
How high are you? Level check.
6.
6?
Yeah. I think you're about the same as me, you know? 7? 6, 7?
I really think you and I are on the 6, 7 right now. Because I feel like there's times that I feel like I can conduct and then I'm like, nope. And then I feel like you're like with it more than me.
We've never really volleyed the conductor hat back and forth.
It's weird.
I want to play badminton so bad. I'm really looking forward to getting to be spring.
I'll break something.
I thought you loved me.
I think that's kind of where we're at.
This dude that I'm talking to was like asking me if I liked hiking and going outdoors, and I was like, I said, I do like hiking, but I'm not like a sportsy girl. I was like, I do badminton. I'm intense like that. I'm really like, you know.
That's so funny.
I'm so fit. Okay, so the fun activity was not me drooling everywhere. It was. Or was it? It was.
Pistachio?
7. Okay, 7. It was about pistachios. I tried the Dubai chocolate for the first time. Wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
No, I love pistachios, but it was like overhyped for me. At least the Russell Stover one I had. No offense, we just lost our Russell Stover sponsorship. Idiot. But yeah, it wasn't that good. Back to my introduction of our activity. We're going to rate activities, specifically sexual activities. So if you're family or if you're not 18, get out of the podcast now. You should have been here to begin with, trust me. We're going to rate the Kama Sutra, and we are going to pick our funniest named one, our most uncomfortable looking one, and the one that looks the most pleasurable. Did I get them all?
And what looks most uncomfortable.
Funniest, most uncomfortable, most pleasurable, and funniest name.
Yes.
That's what we're going for. So, our topics tonight, we're going to start off with the funniest name. It was me first. I forgot.
If I can find stick figures, I think I can put them on there. They're just very generic stick figures. Maybe I can do that, but I don't hold myself accountable.
I'm sorry. I accidentally exited. You go first.
I wrote mine on a piece of old mail. Prepared, because I don't have a phone to use. Okay, so the funniest name was Union of Frog.
Oh, yeah.
And that one, I don't know, like, imagine you're, like, in the mood. Like, you're feeling really good, Katie.
And your partner goes, whip it.
No, he's like, let's do the Union of the Frog. Like, how do you, like, react to that?
But there's also the tortoise. Like, what do you like hunch over your partner and it's like, okay, stick your head through? No. There's one with a cow, and I was like, dude, imagine just being like, whatever the whole name of it is, I'd be like, if anyone said the word cow in the bedroom, I would like, it would not be it. You know what? You're not wrong. Okay.
Ugh.
So the one that I thought was the funniest name, I can't find it on this list, and I don't know if it just was left out, but it was the likening to, it had something to do with tongs. It said the likening of tongs or something like that. I like that tongs was in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So now our most uncomfortable.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
It's called Posture of Scissors.
Okay.
And
describe it.
Okay, so he's like laying down straight.
All
okay?
right.
And she is like on it, but you lean all the way backwards to where your back touches his feet, but your legs are bent like
a
this.
straight line almost.
And like I could not imagine how comfortable, like that looks so uncomfortable to like be doing, and then your back is all the way touching his feet. Like, it just doesn't sound comfortable.
Well, the way the knees are, that's what's confusing me.
I wouldn't like my knees bent like that.
Yeah, I would think it would just pull you up and off of it, if anything.
So, most uncomfortable.
So, for me, the most uncomfortable was the posture of yin and yang. It is a position in which both couples are squatting. One is on the bottom, or the man is on the bottom, and leaning backwards a bit while squatting, almost like he's about to fall on his butt. And then she comes and she sits on top of him and connects on top of him. She sits on top of his lap, but her feet are on the ground as well. So both of them are squatted down in a crisscross, and it looks like this uncomfortable, like, balancing act.
Oh.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. Which one was the funniest to you?
The perfect alignment. They're literally like, okay, heads are over here together.
They're just over like
where? Like, just like if they're sitting on a flat surface, okay? Their heads are like looking at each other, but they're just laying square on top of each other. That's it.
Like literally, like just laying flat.
An alignment, like they're perfectly aligned bodies.
Like you just draw two underscores and they're laying on top of each other.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wait, the same direction and everything too.
Yes.
Like bunker beds. Bunker beds?
Yeah. Bed bunks. Bed bunks.
Bing bong. We're doing great
Bunk
here.
Beds.
I almost just slammed my fist into Tipper's back, and now I'm still doing it.
So I think that one looked the most funny because, like, imagine you just walk in on somebody having sex and they're just like this, literally on top of each other, and there's not much going on.
Barely even able to move because, like, you don't want to get the alignment off.
I think I read in there, it said maximum movement, not a lot of penetration or something like that. And I was like, okay, like,
I don't like it when it's barely in and then it like moves. Like, it hurts sometimes if it's poked at the wrong angle.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like if it's in and almost about to come out, and like it's almost like it drags the wrong direction and hurts sometimes. Does that make any sense?
Oh, I get you.
Yeah, and I'm like, where? No, you're trying to make a third hole down there. Wait, technically.
Yeah,
whatever. We're not gonna go into anatomy, people.
All right,
but we're gonna go back to anatomy. Okay, so. My funniest one that oh my gosh, I didn't write down, I screenshot the position, but not the name of the position.
Let me see, what if I can guess it?
If I had to name this, I would call it Yeet. Because it looks like he's about to yeet her into oblivion. No, look at my phone, there's a bad thing. Okay, it's on script, by the way. SCRIPD is what we're doing it off of, which may or may not be accurate or horrible sight. No,
it's great.
So this position, the man is laying on his back with his legs up, almost as if he's in the fetal position, but instead of having his arms around the back part of his knees and holding them to his chest, he has his arms holding, so the girl's sitting down on top of him while his feet are up in the fetal position. So she's sitting in front of his legs, and she's on top of him, connected with him, sitting on him like a chair, but her arms are back behind her back, and the feet are shoving the chest, but he's holding on to her arms. And it looks like he's about to yeet her into freaking oblivion.
Yeah,
it looks like he's about to just do one hard kick and she's going to go, and fly across the room. It's
That was
funny.
a good one.
Yeah. I could see it being pleasurable a little bit, but I'd be too scared. I'd be for. All right, and finally, we are going to say the position that we're like, ooh, that looks the most pleasurable.
Mine was a posture of spoons.
Oh, like just on the side?
Yeah. But like, if you look in the book that we're looking at, it just looks really comfortable. Like, how they look, and I was like, I could dig that.
Okay.
It looks more comfortable and more pleasurable because it's comfy.
I've only done that position a couple times that I remember of.
I think I've only done it a few times too, but...
I didn't have the right posture of the spoon. So the one that I thought actually looked pretty good, I don't recall ever experiencing this either. You're like, crinkle.
I know, I'm so sorry.
She stops. You should have seen the look on her face. It was like this panicked, like, double take. It was funny. Mine is the posture of the plow.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to describe it. It's a woman on her back, like, as in a normal missionary position. But the man, he is half on, half off the bed. She's at the very edge of the bed. And he's connected to her, like, right at the edge of the bed, where he has one knee kneeling on the bed on his left, and then on his right, he's using his foot on the ground. So he's got a kneeling knee and then a ground knee to kind of, like, get at deeper angles and aim differently. I think that's why it could be good.
I really hope I can post stick figure pictures of these. I think that'd be so funny.
I mean, why not? It's a stick figure. Sexy stick figures.
So that's the Kama Sutra.
Yes.
All right. Katie, as I drag this notebook across the desk, we didn't set this up in a good place for us.
That's okay. I know what we're on.
Oh, you do? Okay. I don't. So.
Choo-choo.
Ooh, I thought I was going to fall and I got scared.
And me too, because my eyes. Okay. Anyways. All right.
Okay, so speaking of the Kama
Sutra.
The one time Katie and we went into a bookstore when we went to go visit Kat. It was like this really old-timey bookstore. And we were like, Katie was back looking at her stuff.
That's what you were talking about earlier. I didn't even remember where you...
Girl, I'm going to take us down memory lane.
ISS it. Yes.
So we're in this like old bookstore where like when you walk in, the smell of the books is so strong, like of how like older they are.
Mm-hmm.
And like very tiny walkways for us to walk through to get to these aisles and stuff. Very cool shop. So me and Katie, we were walking around... going to leave because our friend Kat was checking out, and I just happened to look on the top shelf of a bookcase, and it was the Kama Sutra, but like the printed edition, and it was like almost like textbook style. And it was so crazy to just
about
look
that.
up and see.
I love it.
I remember I opened it and I was like, it was so like graphically like.
I always thought it'd be
it.
fun to go to like one of those adult bookstores that like it's got dark romance. It's got like no limits on the romance and they'll have like erotica everywhere, whatever. And I want to go to one so bad because I think that'd be the perfect place to find a new dark romance author. Like, my only thing is if I went in a store like that, like you shouldn't be embarrassed going into any place like that, but I'm worried that people would judge me based on the category I'm standing in front of. Like, somebody just stand there in the giant anal section and just walk by and be like, okay. See, that would be the problem with those stores. I don't know. Do you mind it back? This is working out really well, Paige. Next time, I'm going to copy my list, and we'll both have a little mini
That'd
version.
be great. Okay.
We're trying to make things more professional.
So,
it's not working.
Talking about books, when we were still on the thing with Kat, they had these mystery, like, book bundles.
On the thing with Kat. Oh, the trip to the bookstore.
Yeah, because we went to like 2 different bookstores and she had little like mystery bundle books, which we have, and we got some, and I love that. I think it was so cute how people package those. And
it came with a couple trinkets. Have you ever seen on TikTok there's people that sell like there's stationery kits, so people will send in like a color and how many pieces they want, and then it's like an ASMR video of a woman packing this like mystery bag.
Oh yes,
and it's stationery stuff. So she'll have all colored matching cutesy stuff, like very girly.
Yeah.
So you'll get like a magnet, you'll get a pen to match, you'll get Post-it notes, paper clips, hair clips, hair things, and it's like a little mystery color bundle. I've always wanted to buy one of those.
Yes.
But I'm like, it's wasting so much money because all that's like Wish.com Sheen quality stuff. And I'm like, I hate it so much because I know I remembered. Are you so proud of me?
I'm so proud. Oh my gosh, Katie.
Look at her butt.
I'm so impressed because I totally, you know how we were like bouncing this off in the kitchen to practice? Mm-hmm. Like I told you earlier,
we're trying not to break the fourth wall and she's just blatantly telling you our...
So I told you that I wouldn't remember these when we got back in here, and I generally didn't, and so that just blew my mind all over again.
Nice.
It's nuts that I forgot about it even though we were just talking about it in the kitchen.
That's cool.
I brought it makes me think of in the 2000s there was like a certain era where people would just buy random cardboard boxes and they were labeled mystery boxes and people would pay like $5,000 to $10,000 like for some of them.
Thousands of dollars? I thought we were talking about like $20.
No. It ranged from like anywhere. And it was like this thing that went on for a while where you would go on this website. You would order this type of box and you're guaranteed like a $25 item, but it was sold as like a $5 box.
Interesting. See, I don't remember that.
Oh, I do like vividly because I remember I used to watch them and I wanted to always get one.
What if like bakeries sold mystery boxes of their leftover stuff from the next day? What if, like, when you didn't sell all the stuff in the case, you just, like, threw it together in a hodgepodge box and you tape it up and you sell it, like, on a clear little mystery box?
I bet someone does that somewhere.
That'd be cool.
I
just like baked goods. I wanted to talk about them.
It makes me think... I was just watching this episode and... Episode? That's so weird. They were trying different types of cookies. I wish I could remember to show you this when I'm sober because this would be a really fun idea. Mm-hmm. They take different priced items and you have to rank which one is the most expensive to like the least expensive. And they did this cookie. Well, this cookie was like $11. Okay. Mm-hmm. But they're a mystery cookie of the month or something like that. And they send you like a box of mystery cookies every month.
Oh, it's like that's cool. Like Crumble, but a mystery box.
Yeah. And it's different flavors like each month.
You know what? We've never done like a Crumble rating. We could do a Patreon video for that.
Speaking of Crumble, my coworker's birthday's on Friday the 13th, and I gotta go get her Crumble, and I gotta get the balloons.
I've only ever had one cookie from Crumble, and it was like the cookie dough one. They've never had it since.
Shoot. Ever. I'm sad that I'm recording. The Crumble cookies I got
No, she's not. She loves you.
The Crumble cookies I got for my birthday.
That sounds like a tongue twister. The Crumble cookies I got for my birthday. I guess that wasn't
hands down the best Crumble cookies I've ever had. And I'm
what flavors were they?
I had a s'mores. So good. There was a strawberry cheesecake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there were a few other. The snickerdoodle ones were really good. And then there was another one. I can't think of it. But they were so good.
They're just so dang expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're huge. Like, they're very, very filling and rich, but...
Girl, Valentine's Day, it's coming up. I saw
Thanks for the reminder.
Krispy Kreme put out an ad for their, like, heart-shaped donuts for Valentine's Day, and I want some so bad.
That sounds yummy. Yeah.
They're, like, so cute.
I want to try those Dunkin' Donuts, like, chocolate-covered strawberry drinks they had that I saw on TikTok.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That sounds good. I want to go to bingo. I just said that, and it just made me want to go to bingo, because I remembered getting frozen hot cocoa.
I asked Tanya and Missy if they wanted to go this weekend, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, and they're big
is it?
Fans. So I was like, oh, maybe next weekend, but then I remembered I have plans next weekend. It's fine. I'm just busy.
Just so popular with yourself. Okay. I feel like we've had a really good episode.
Oh, okay. I forgot. I already forgot what we were doing.
I am going to go ahead and...
little face
I know, it's been there the whole time. It won't go away, and I love it. It's just driving me nuts. Our way we usually end our episodes, for those of you who are new, is we do a toast. I almost just knocked over a full can of Alani. Wait, we did that last week. Full circle. Didn't we?
I don't know.
Spill the whole can of Alani?
I don't know.
We end our episode with a toast. Sorry, my lips were really dry all of a sudden. I'm going to say I'm a level... Let's do a quick level check before we go.
I'm at like an 8. I'm getting
7.
closer to a 10. I kind of want to go eat a pretzel really bad, and I know I'll jump.
Ooh.
A pretzel just sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
So.
All right. Definitely feel still at a steady 7, but I'm okay with that. Like, I'm awake.
Okay.
I'm wide awake. Don't sue us. I'm another Katie. All right.
The Katies have an alliance.
No, we have an Alani. Spencer is. That's what I did there. Okay. I'd like to propose a toast with...
This is going to be even funnier here in a second.
Oh, no. With my widow rubber ducky. And she's pink. My toast that I'm proposing is to anyone that makes those mystery book bundles. You are an amazing person, and you need to keep doing it, but do it, like, super cheap, because I'm poor. Here. Oh, you didn't hear me.
Here. My toast.
There.
Can I explain? I'm going to show you, and then I got to explain.
Okay. All right. I just looked at the light, yeah. I thought you just unzipped your shirt more, and I was like, what are we toasting with?
My toast. My toast object, they are the same color as Katie's duck.
They match.
And when I got one candle, I sat and I thought to myself, I couldn't get one because there's 2 of us.
Oh.
And so I was like, I have to have 2 now. So I came back for the 2.
Do you know how fat I am? That makes me want cotton candy.
My
ISS, you unlocked a memory. My sister Sarah and I were addicted to the cotton candy little mini muffins that Walmart used to sell, and they were dyed a swirl of those exact colors.
Oh.
And I've been craving them lately because I smelled a cotton candy scented, I had some food that was cotton candy scented or flavored, and it was really good. And it reminded me of those muffins that we used to always get.
Oh.
Yeah. I even have cotton candy flavoring I bought that's in my cabinet because I wanted to try and make a scratch recipe.
No.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Wow. Telling you. Oh, wait, no, it would be more like...
My toast goes to Cookie Dough Bites.
Ooh.
For always hitting the spot at any time. Cheers.
They're good. Cheers. There's never been a time where I've not wanted cookie dough. You know what I'm saying, Tipper?
Like, how can you just say no?
He's like,
get us out of here, Tipper.
All right, that wraps about it up for the... Nope. That's about all the time we have for tonight. You can check us out at Gummy Buddies Podcast on any social media, pretty much. You can find us on TikTok at Gummy Buddies Podcast. And that's probably where we have the most bonus content, is that right now. We're trying to add more to that, so stay tuned. But yeah, if you want to reach out to us and answer any of our questions or ask us anything or like just say hi, shout out to our first email. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was going to shout this out. My friend Mouse, I don't want to dox you and say your name. Apparently she was our first. I don't know. I said apparently. She's our very first listener email we've ever gotten. So it was a big milestone for us, and we cried.
Emails, and it was so great.
Yeah,
I loved hearing her reactions to them.
Yeah, she did like a play-by-play of listening through she took the time to watch our episodes, which is like an honor that anybody watches it. The fact that like any of you are still here, it means a lot, because that means that you're like us, and I love that.
It makes me really happy because like, you know how we talked about, like, oh, like, what if no one ever listens to us and, like, it's just us? Like, we would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But to have someone who actually, like, to have people, like, our friends who actually listen to us.
And think it's like,
so
worth
sweet.
the time for you to listen. Like, yeah, the fact that you think it's worth it being here right now, it's, like, it's really humbling. And we appreciate it. So, even if it's just one of you, we really love you. So, anyways... Thank you for the first ever email at Gummy Buddies. I think I already said that.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate
you.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you so much for listening to us.
And we hope you don't pick up any hitchhikers.
And thank you for being our Gummy Buddies.